New details tonight from transportation leaders in that fatal plane crash over the Potomac River near Reagan National Airport, 50 miles south of us. WMAR News' Jack Watson joins us here in the studio. Jack, what details do we have now?
Hey, Jeff, lots to get to tonight. Even at the very start of today's news conference, the media was told the NTSB would not speculate on the exact cause of the crash, but tonight we know much more about what was going on before it.
The on-scene portion of our investigation into the January 29th mid-air collision near Reagan National Airport has wrapped up.
In the nation's capital this afternoon, a few miles away from the late January crash site, National Transportation Safety Board Chair Jennifer Homendy says they have the perishable evidence they need. 16 days ago, a passenger jet coming into Reagan National Airport from Kansas and an Army helicopter crashed in midair and killed 67 people, some of whom were from Maryland. Homendy told reporters the helicopter was on a check ride or a practical exam. The NTSB believes the helicopter crew was wearing night vision goggles.
Given the nature of the flight, additionally, had they been removed, the crew was required to have a discussion about going unaided. Let me repeat that. Had they been removed, the crew was required to have a discussion about going unaided. There is no evidence on the cockpit voice recorder or CVR of such a discussion.
Homendy says the Black Hawk crew may not have heard a message from air traffic control that the jet was circling.
CVR data from the Black Hawk indicated that the portion of the transmission stating the CRJ was circling may not have been received by the Black Hawk crew. We hear the word circling in ATC communications, but we do not hear the word circling on the CVR of the Black Hawk.
A transmission from air traffic control directing the crew to pass behind the jet may have also been interrupted by a mic key as the crew sought to communicate with air traffic control. Additionally, the NTSB says the helicopter may have been operating on bad data.
We're confident with the radio altitude of the Black Hawk at the time of the collision that was 278 feet. But I want to caution, that does not mean that's what the Black Hawk crew was seeing on the barometric altimeters in the cockpit.
I'd like to stress that we've just completed the on-scene phase of the investigation. We need to follow our process and be meticulous. Ultimately, this work will determine the altitude displayed to the pilots and will be included in our final report.
Homendy also told reporters there was no indication the Black Hawk could see there would be an impending collision. Last week, leaders announced all major wreckage from the crash had been removed from the Potomac River. It is safe to navigate once again, Jeff.
All right, so Jack, what are the next steps here from the NTSB? What can we expect from them?
Yeah, a couple of different things. They're going to move the wreckage to a secure location. They're going to do what's called a visibility study to find out exactly what the crew could see at the time, how limiting, if at all, the night vision goggles could have been. And they're going to have to find out why the helicopter's automatic dependent surveillance broadcast, ADSB, was not transmitting. It broadcast data like location, altitude, and ground speed. A lot to be found out here, Jeff.
Yeah, a lot found out today and a lot still to learn as we go forward. Thanks for reporting it, Jack.